Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a new TEW2020 video. You join us today for the 5th instalment of AEW Blood and Guts, the 4th that we'll be booking, and yet again our pay-per-view providers don't like us doing the War Games concept, so again I've got to learn that before I actually set them. So it's going to be a classic cage match, but it's 5v5, and yeah, it's a stacked main event that hopefully can justify a very good rating. So we're going to look through the previous Blood and Guts matches to give you an idea of what we've done before. So obviously Blood and Guts takes place probably within about 9 months into the save. So you will see obviously we'd already started making better gains in terms of our ratings. And we started off with Hangman, Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk and the Lucha Brothers taking on Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, Malachi Black, Matt Jackson and... I believe... No, it was Nick Jackson. I thought it would have come up as the Young Bucks, and sometimes it will always, if somebody's missing it, won't say that. But no, both the Young Bucks in. Yeah, you can see there we had an AEW Plus, just 3 million viewers at that time. Add another 20 to that one, but yeah. I think what's crazy there is Matt Jackson's getting a 95. Like, he can sometimes hit 90 rated performances now, which is quite frightening. But that was our first main event. I think we had to change that one up to just an elimination matchup because Bryan wasn't happy with taking part in these kind of matches, which is why he's not in this one. But yeah, 81 was the first main event, and we obviously had Hangman and Kerry setting up for Double or Nothing. Moving on a year forward, and they had a slightly lesser War Games matchup with the team of Tyler Black, Buddy Matthews, and the AOP. Remember that faction in WWE that lasted? But yeah, they took on basically the Undisputed Era in this. But so it would have been Cole, Fish O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong with Adam Cole. And the boys picking up the win in a main event as we had Hangman defeat MJF to retain. No, actually, we had 2 matches. No. Yeah, we did actually have 2 matches. It might have been one for that, and then because Bryan wouldn't have done it, but Moxley, Kingston, Proud and Powerful would have been the heels against Bryan Danielson, Prince Devitt and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in a Total Mayhem match. I think that's what we used to cover, that Bryan wouldn't take part, but that's set up basically Hangman and Kingston for Double or Nothing. And then last year we had a variety of different things. You can see there we had Saraya make her debut. She took part in the women's 5-on-5 matchup. Elena Black, Jamie Hayter, Starlight Kid, Io Shirai and BB Ford at the time defeated Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Ronda Rousey, Demi Bennett and Bayley Rose in a 5-on-5 matchup. And in the main event, our version of Blood and Guts that we could have done. So Adam Cole, the Young Bucks and Red Dragon defeat the Danielson Fight Dojo at the time of Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, Stu Grayson and Walter. Mad that that's already been a faction for over a year. That's crazy. Time's flying. I honestly didn't think it'd been that long I had the faction, but that's mental. As yeah, the Danielson Fight Dojo are in action tonight. So let's look at the card then. We'll run through what we've got and the storylines behind them before we get through, and I'll put the angles in. We'll start the show. So we're going to have a wee opener, which is just going to be some tag team action. Bryan Danielson wanting to just, continue the development of Daniel Garcia, and they're going to take on 2 upstarts in AEW, and that is the team of Rise of Destruction. These wrestlers are Madoka Kikuta and Kaio Katayama, I want to say. If I just go to teams, I'll quite be able to show you that one, the Rise of Destruction. But yeah, we're looking to utilise a lot of people now that we're hidden developmental and that we're starting to bring up it. Even if they're not over, we'll start to get them over, so the roster's going to get even more bloated. But I'm going to start phasing out the likes of your AJ Styles, your Edges, these kind of people, and go with a younger roster underneath and start building them up. I think the chances of unrated matches are pretty limited now, so we'll see how we can develop the roster as time goes on. Looking to bring up Abaddon in the women's roster. We've agreed a contract with NXT's in this, Maxi and Paler, so I'm going to go with some mad tag team between those two that will cause a lot of fear within a lot of people. So that is your opening contest. The second matchup is for the Lucha Underground Trios Championships, and it will be the champions in action, Barbario Cavanaro and the Legion El Andrades, Raul Mendoza and Santos Escobar. They're going to defend against a team of Jonathan Gresham, Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and a team representative of people that are located in Japan, which is El Desperado, El Fantasmo, and Shun Skywalker. The first two there, basically, it's their last appearance on the deal, so we thought we'd utilise them. Third matchup is going to be for the Lucha Underground Championship, and the champion is, of course, Matt Riddle. He's been basically picking up a few victories there, and it's been Nakamura that's going to step up to the fore. He believes this is his opportunity in a proper combat matchup to take away that championship belt. More representation next up from the Danielson Fight Dojo. It should come as no surprise after their fantastic matchup the last time that we are going to give Diona Purrazzo and Serena Deeb an opportunity against Takuma Aroha and Kana one more time. Match 5, he talks about it constantly. It is the matchup he really wants. With Adam Cole take on Eddie Kingston in a matchup on Dynamite, who caused distraction but won Yun Akiyama. Kingston wants Akiyama. It's a match he's absolutely desperate for. You can make these things happen in TEW, so we're going to run with that one. Match 6 sees a rematch for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Proud and powerful to gain them back from Penta El Zero-M and El Hijo del Vikingo. Ortiz has a little bit of injury. Will that play a factor? It remains to be seen. We're in a couple of matches where the series is 1-1 over their careers, and it is going to be another chance for the AEW 0X Championship for Buddy Matthews as he challenges the champion Wheeler Yuta. After losing the Lucha Underground Trios Championships, Buddy Matthews from the House of Black has trained up a good run of victories as he looks to capture the gold there. We have some very interesting developments within our tournaments, so which we are going to actually let you see now, because it's not really spoilers because they've already taken place on television. But of course, we're building towards Double or Nothing, we're building towards the male and the female Owen. There's been a situation that has established within the female bracket, which we'll cover now, and we'll also let you see the progress so far within the male bracket, which of course we'll cover at co-main event. So if we quickly jump to the Dynamite bracket, because there's a bit of time, we still have a way to go, but the quarterfinals, so Adam Cole beat arch nemesis, and man, he really hates Sammy Guevara. Absolute Ricky Starks defeated Ricochet. Walter with the victory over Sami Zayn, and Darby Allin was victorious over Miro. This means it's going to be Adam Cole versus Ricky Starks in the semi-finals, and Walter versus Darby Allin. The winner of the Owen from the Dynamite brand will face the winner from the Rampage bracket at Double or Nothing. Simple. In a women's tournament, not so simple. Round of 16. Anna Jay picked up the win over old friend Tay Conti. Bailey Rose with a good victory over Kana. The Dr. Britt Baker defeated Ruby Soho before Mayu Iwatani defeated Thunder Rosa. Io Shirai defeated Toni Storm, so the TBS champion out in the first round. Mayu Yamashita, thank you so much for Excalibur for pronouncing it so now I can pronounce it correctly instead of me saying Yamashita. So I know it's Yamashita, that's fine going forward. She defeated Serena Deeb. Charlotte defeated Arisa Nakajima, and a draw established between two rivals of Bianca Ford and Becky Quinn, hence Charlotte getting a bye in the quarter-finals. Billy Rose defeated Anna Jay. Mayu Iwatani defeated Britt Baker. Mayu Yamashita defeated Io Shirai. So that means we have semi-finals of Billy Rose versus Mayu Iwatani, Mayu Yamashita versus Charlotte. Into the semis we go. Mayu Yamashita, I've done already. Mayu Yamashita defeated Charlotte, so she'll be in the final. Bailey Rose is to face Mayu Iwatani. Not gonna happen. So, let me explain this one to you. It's going to be an angle in the show, but I may as well explain it now to let you know why we're in this predicament. So, I had an idea where a lot of people from companies they don't have the greatest overness in the States, but we wanted to make them have good matches and get high ratings. Done it with a lot of people that have like exclusive to Stardom, but we have them in, or people we bring in on loan. Unfortunately, we worked so hard and got her so over, Iwatani, that she's more over in Japan than she is than any wrestler we have is in Japan. By a couple of marks, and I can't get Sasha's the highest we've got, or Mercedes is the highest we've got, and I can't get her to 89. So no matter what I do, I can't loan in Iwatani, so I can't get her back. So basically the plan is here, it is going to be her taking out the tournament, and that is why you see Caddy Hojo versus Bailey Rose. The winner of that will face Mayu Yamashita in the final. at Double or Nothing. So that was my way around it. Not ideal. Chris Statlander, Jimmy here. It's not doing too much to cover here. These are former tag team champions that imploded, basically hate each other at each other's throats, and these two will go at it to see who truly is the better of the two. Remember, of course, Statlander has that opportunity at the AEW Women's Championship. She doesn't have to take it straight away. She doesn't have to take it at Double or Nothing like Moxley is taking his. But it's a case of Statlander, she's going to wait. She has to announce when she's going to take it. It is going to be either on a Dynamite or a Rampage or a pay-per-view event. But it's up to her when she cashes in, but she must state beforehand. We can't go full Money in the Bank on it. Strickland versus Pete Dunne is for the bracket of the Rampage side. As you can see there, we started here with Keith Lee defeating Randy Orton, Pete Dunne defeating Kevin Steen, Swerve Strickland beating Pac, and Bryan Danielson defeating Wardlow, which then saw Pete Dunne beat Keith Lee and Swerve defeat Bryan Danielson. So the winner of this one will face the winner of the Dynamite bracket, and then the winner of that one wins the Owen and gets a future World Championship match, potentially against MJF, potentially against Jon Moxley. And that leads us to our main event, the 5-on-5 War Games matchup, and it's basically been lots of people who hate MJF versus MJF, his faction, and a few friends alongside. So this one's been stemming easily since the tail end of last year. MJF, of course, screwing over Kenny, Andrade, Darby Allin. Obviously Moxley's ready to get his hands on him, and they of course got a fifth man who just wanted a piece of the action. So this one is going to see the team of Kenny Omega, Andrade El Idolo, Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, and the Hangman Adam Page do battle against MJF, Sammy Guevara, Richard Holiday, and from the Supreme Collective, Ricky Starks and Cody Rhodes. Tell me about the angles, and let's get ready for some blood and guts. So we're into the event itself. Blood and Guts 5 is live from MetLife Stadium, 72,199 in attendance. You've got to love the growth of the company. We actually start off with basically an argument, a segment that is going to bring towards us one of our main matches for Double or Nothing. As we're well aware, Jade Cargill and Mercedes Varnado have finally split ways after Mercedes lost the TBS Championship. She's got one thing on her mind, and that is to become the next AEW Women's Championship. So these two, so close together, an absolute powerhouse of a team together, and are now going to completely implode at Double or Nothing. So we give them an angle here. I was hoping this would be my 100 segment, to be honest. These two ladies have been absolutely phenomenal in promos, but Jade's a little bit stale. Mercedes didn't do well without the script because she doesn't like to be scripted, but bizarrely Jade improvised well. But the 87 rating confirms Jade Cargill, Mercedes Varnado, AEW Women's Championship, Double or Nothing. Cannot wait for it. Opening contest of the evening had about with good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. The team of Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia defeat the Rise of Destruction in 12:55 when Bryan Danielson submitted Madoko Kikuta with the cattle mutilation. Of course, Bryan's going to be head and shoulders above the rest, but I think the rest of them can benefit from being in this matchup with him. Overall, 81. Next up was a matchup for the Trios Championship, and it was a decent matchup that saw Barbario Cavanaro, Raul Mendoza and Santos Fantasma defeat Jonathan Gresham, Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and El Desperado, El Fantasmo and Shun Skywalker in at 12:35. The team from Japan went out first, and then it was Gresham, Anderson and Johnson, giving them their first defence of the Trios Championship. Overall, it's a 70 rated segment. We also, probably similar to real life at the time, kind of hinted towards the Jonathan Gresham heel turn, just him really just being really disappointed in Anderson and Johnson and really where his place is on the card. We then moved on to a decent matchup. Matt Riddle defeats Nakamura in 8:01 with a floating bro, giving him his fourth defence of the Lucha Underground Championship. 67 here, Riddle's getting a little bit stale. Nakamura's physically done, he's not over, he's pretty much just waiting until his contract expires and then we'll let him go, but give him an opportunity here and Matt Riddle picks up another win. And then moving on, not quite as good as the last encounter, but still good. But had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. as Takuma Iroha and Kana defeat Deonna Purrazzo and Serena Deeb from the Danielson Fight Dojo in 22-19 when Kana submitted Serena Deeb with the Kanagon, giving them their third defence of the AEW Women's World Tag Titles. Kana won 83, Iroha won 91, which is good to see. We gave them a bit more time here, and we also made this a technical masterclass because, let's be honest, a lot of them are technically very, very good. But again, just keeping the belts on Iroha and Kana. After the match though, they have been beaten down by a newly formed alliance in the last month or so. That is of course Charlotte, and from developmental we have finally called up Camille. I just feel like pairing the two of them together, they're big tall women together, they would be like a proper force against some of the smaller athletes, so I feel pairing them together is a great matchup. So 74, maybe hinting towards what's coming at Double or Nothing, but still good. We then had Eddie Kingston defeat Yu Nakayama in 10:53 with a blackout lariat. Similar matchup. Yun's obviously not his peak performance, he's obviously not over in America, so good win for Eddie. He gets his dream match in a 65 rated bout. And then the tag match for the championship belts was good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Penta and Hijo del Vikingo defeat Proud and Powerful in 10:35 when Vikingo pinned Ortiz with 6:30 senton, giving them the third defence of the AEW tag titles. Ortiz has got cracked ribs, so the mindset behind this one is then you can use that as an excuse for them losing. He can take the fall with Vikingo getting a bit more over in the States, but as I say, any matchup's good. He's only going to get more over. Once he's more over, he'll be flying. And it kind of gives you a bit of backstory, you know. Could we potentially split them up like they're looking likely at the time of recording to do in real life? Remains to be seen. But good win for the champs. We then go backstage there from MJF. He just talks about the matchup with Jon Moxley. And he says, sure he knows Jon Moxley wants to hurt him, but he knows tonight he's not going to take away that AEW World Championship because it's not on the line. But he's confident alongside his friends that he can just beat Moxley and make sure he doesn't make it to Double or Nothing. That was an 82. Then a good matchup for the 0x Championship. Buddy Matthews defeats Wheeler Yuta in 14:49 using the ropes for leverage. 81, I felt it was finally time to take the belt off Yuta. I give it to Buddy Matthews. It opens up so many babyface opponents for Buddy, and I feel we can have a lot of flippy, good matches. So overall happy with that one. Just made it a regular matchup with the tainted finish. And after the matchup, Buddy just celebrates a little bit stilly. But that gives us a 66. Next up, and here is where reality completely goes out. So I'm going to explain this one and how this all came about. 3 years ago in game, The Rock was involved in a drug scandal. He had toxic traits for 3 years and his overness dropped all the way down to 69. I thought, as soon as he's over, I'd love to see if we could build him up just with promos, because obviously it's The Rock, his skills are absolutely fantastic. So I started him up as soon as that was over, and I thought, you know what, we can implement him here. So Bailey's like, you know, where's my opponent, where's Iwatani, why is she not here, blah blah blah. The Rock comes out, and The Rock says he's obviously good friends with Mick Foley, one of the matchmakers of AEW. He has allowed them to say what's going to happen here. So Iwatani will be withdrawn from the championship tournament, the own tournament. So if Bayley Rose wants to make the final, though, she will still compete in the semi-final, and if she can defeat her opponent here, she will face Mayu Yamashita in the final, but she's going to go up against Caddy Hojo. So that was my way to work around it. I thought we can replace it in the tournament, we can remove, so we'll remove Mayu, because I can't see her getting allowed here in the next 5 weeks. So, and if she does, then we'll get a storyline we can build off there. But we're going to go Bayley versus Caddy Hojo. Nice wee cameo from Dwayne. Their matchup was great wrestling, good heat. Bayley Rose picks up the win over Caddy Hojo in 14:20 with a Bayley to belly suplex. 85, Kyrie win 90 performance, sensational stuff from Kyrie. But yeah, delighted with a women's match getting as high as an 85. Stellar work from two fantastic workers. So we can confirm as well, Double or Nothing Bayley Rose versus Mayu Yamashita for the female own tournament. Of course, the winner of that could challenge Mercedes Varnado or Jade Cargill down the line. It's all coming together. And after it, Bayley just says a few words about Yamashita. So that's an 81. She's pissed, but she is in a roll. I just feel I've had her for a long period of time without properly using her. So it's time to go with it. We have a little hype package just documenting the feud between Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander, as we mentioned in the earlier part of the video. Former tag team champions, two powerhouses, and after Jamie turned on her and really damaged Chris Statlander, they hate each other. So we'll see how their matchup goes. 1v1 in the series, and it was about the head. Good heat and decent wrestling as Chris defeated Jamie in 12:34 with the area 451. I need to update a picture actually. She obviously doesn't wear the alien face paint anymore, but 72. Chris has a strong connection with the young female demographic who enjoyed her winning. I was actually worried this was going to be a bit lower than this purely because of the lack of psychology of both women, but they're young enough that they can certainly learn in that attribute. And Chris, obviously, with a potential women's championship match in the future, gains momentum with victory. Is this feud over? Remains to be seen. Then moved on to the final of the Rampage bracket of the Owen. And it was about great wrestling, good heat. And another person, I do feel I've underutilised both guys so far, but anyway, Swerve Strickland picks up the win over Pete Dunne in 2004 with the Swerve Stomp. This was 78. Both guys with good performances, 84 and 83, obviously boosted because of the great chemistry. I think this could have been an 85, 86, and the reason for this is Pete Dunne wasn't happy to put him over, so to keep Pete Dunne strong was a few points, and Pete Dunne being off his game lose a few points. So I think we could have been up there about an 85 or 86, but it gives us a chance to go Swerve versus one of the main people from Dynamite, so you can confirm the Owen final will definitely have, will certainly be somebody's house, Swerve's house. So delighted with that one. Swerve wins the Rampage side of the bracket. Got a promo just saying, it doesn't matter who it's going to be, if it's going to be Walter, Darby Allin, Ricky Starks, it don't matter. It's Swerve's house, 76. Might be being a event too, actually. There it is. And we finish up with an exceptional matchup with Kenny Omega, Andrade El Idolo, Jon Moxley, Darby Allin and Hangman Adam Page defeating MJF, Sammy Guevara, Richard Holiday, Ricky Starks and Cody Rhodes in the War Games cage match, Blood and Guts match in 36:02, when Jon Moxley submitted Richard Holiday to pick up the win. So an 89 overall there. If you look at the list of performances, everybody was stellar showing. In fact, the weakest in the babyface side was Darby Allin, 87, and Hangman. And the weakest in the heel side was, of course, Richard Holiday with 75 and Ricky Starks with a 78. So they're like kind of upper mid card to close to main event. But the other three are obviously the main guys, and any of these guys can come in. Well, they've all had championship matches, so that's what you say. But the babyfaces prevail. Moxley, Omega, and Rhodes benefit from hot new moves. In terms of negatives, because there'll be a lot of positives here. What have we got? We've got inconsistency of Moxley, poor gimmicks for Darby Allin, MJF, and Hangman Adam Page, Sammy's low morale, and Richard Holiday's inconsistency. But how did we arrive at such a finish? Because we had a little heated confrontation during the match, and then pushing each other up the ramp. Two men within the Supreme Collective, Ricky Starks and Cody Rhodes. All may not be well there. That one fold over Rampage and Dynamite going forward, mostly Dynamite because that's the brand they're on. What kind of card could we be looking at Double or Nothing? It remains to be seen. 95 show overall. Thank you very much to the boosts. They've certainly helped us there. Probably could have done better in the promo stakes, but the fact to have an 89 and an 85 matchup, I'd say is pretty solid. I mean, just shows how effective the boosts are though, and the way they've got a product when the highest match is an 89, the highest segment is 287s, and yet we get a 95. When you've got the money, so basically if you're WWE or AEW, or if you're historically one of the bigger companies, just file the boosts in. You're going to get the best shows possible. Obviously, if you're doing a local to global, we don't have that quite luxury. So we'll jump to the main screen, but I'm just going to give you a wee idea of some matches you're going to see double nothing that we can confirm off the bat here. So obviously AEW Women's World Championship will be on the line. Mercedes Varnado will challenge Jade Cargill. We're going to see some sort of matchup between Takuma Aroha, Kana, Charlotte and Camille. Whether more women's tag teams will be added to that remains to be seen. The the women's own championship will be contested between Mayu Yamashita and Bailey Rose. You are going to see in the men's Swerve Strickland versus, to be confirmed. I don't know, all 4 guys have a chance of being the opponent for Swerve, and all 5 guys have a chance of a potential championship match. As I said in store, it's going to be Swerve that wins it. It generally could be any of the 4 guys on Dynamite. And of course, for the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley will challenge the champion MJF in your main event of Double or Nothing, which may flop because they don't have psychology, but we'll see how it goes. It's the 2 of the most over guys, they have to be in it, but the psychology aspect may hamper it, but we'll see how it carries it. We're just going to jump to the main screen here. It might take a wee bit of time to load as always because of the amount of workers we're at now. Basically now is always gives me a wee chance to sum stuff up. Developmental is full of generated workers now. It's like maybe like 70% generated, obviously with the enters the wrestling stuff. So I'm really intrigued to see how far I can get into the save if we can start pushing these people forward. There's obviously Ty Conti's tag partner as one. There's been a few managers that have been generated. But we'll see. Obviously there's a lot of younger wrestlers that have started to come up that are real. Never mind generated. And it's always mad when you get a 37-year-old generated wrestler. It's like, oh, I can't really much away. But alas, we move. So we finished our deal with Dish Network. As I said, I was going to let all the pay-per-view deals run out so we can run strictly on the network and run any type of dangerous match we want because it's ours. Show was a complete success. It was incredible. That's good to see. Steve Austin joins AEW on a open contract. I think just to be a 40 figure. Apart from that, nothing else that directly affects us. T-Hawk won a Deathmatch Survivor thing. Shida signs a new 6-month contract. Black Taurus signs a new 3-month contract. These are all handshake deals. Jade signed a new 3-month one for TDF. So there's Shikara and so there's Makia. And that's these are all 3 6-month contracts as well. So it's just telling us about Susanna Cabrera, which I think is a created. Yep, so she came for the CML. They released her, and then we signed her in. I just felt like the Purescu, the technical, and the psychology is a good start, considering she's only 22. Plenty of time to get better and develop in the Development Factory. Or the Dark Factory. I keep calling it both, but either or. El Fantasmo's deal's done, so he's away back to New Japan. Mike Bailey signs with Smash on a one-night deal. James Gibson says that Richard Holiday is going to be a star. Mick Foley says he's also going to be a star. Maybe I should stop pulling him a job. Sammy Guevara says that Matt Hardy needs to sell. Matt's probably going to get let go at the end of his contract because he's over 50 and the psychology doesn't merit road agent status. And Jerry Lynn says that Chris Statlander is money strapped with a rocket to the kid if she could break through that pop cap. Which I'm assuming the fact that she's practically 71 over globally means she'll be getting no higher. So the challenge for me then, since she's pop capped, is to develop these stats and hope that her rating starts moving towards them. Pay-per-view buy rate 0, because obviously we're on the AEW network, and with 21 million viewers, a 28.53 rated show. I'm just going to quickly, before we end the video, jump into contracts just to give you an idea of the kind of people that we're letting go over the next wee period of time. You see there's a lot of people on short-term contracts, so a lot are going to just get slowly put at the door. So you can see there we're bringing in Trish Adora. There's going to be an interesting storyline coming up with Nigel McGuinness. I'm intrigued to do that. We brought him in from WWE. Of course, we said about Max the Impaler. So Stu's going to go. He'll leave the Danielson Fight Dojo. Tamatonga, never really done anything with him, so he's just going to leave again. Lambert's going to go. Brock's going to go. AJ Styles is going to go. Nakazawa doesn't have the... Well, he's retired anyway and doesn't have any Rogue agent stats, so he's going to go. Matt's going to go. And then I think the next one is Desperado. Possibly even Orange Cassidy. I'm just looking through there. Because there's a lot there, like, see, Candice, Brock. Well, Candice, Chris, and Alex Shelley and the Briscoes I'll put as kind of like, can help workers develop and put people over. Brock's obviously still learning. But I need to keep him in a handshake deal to allow him to develop. People like Candice LeRae, who obviously we stole from WWE, so their exclusive written, will then move to a handshake deal. Probably the likes of the same when Kyle and Tommaso's come up. I want to try and keep as many handshake deals to allow them to work elsewhere. Just so they're always having matches, they're keeping active, and if they get injuries, well cool, that's fine, it gives me a wee element of extra challenge to the save as well. So you'll start to realise over time, whilst we do have a lot of written contracts, a lot of them will jump to, obviously the major stars will stay, probably even better than this way, will stay exclusive written, but like, that's me only there, and that's the exclusive written. The rest of them are all handshakes. That's a lot of handshakes. Ortiz, you know, just to give you one. Serena Deeb's a handshake. You know, there's people that they can get and work elsewhere if they want. Walter's handshake. Just allow them to do what they can do, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, properly in the Tony Khan method of putting out as many handshake deals as possible, or contracts that allow people to work elsewhere, because, yeah, that's the way it is in AEW as well in real life. And it allows me to bring in 90 million workers. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. The next video will be Double or Nothing. And of course check out the rest of the bookers on the Fantasy Booker subreddit and the Grey Dog software forums. There's some pretty damn good written content there. So take it easy. See you soon. Bye bye.